Not all aspects of learning a language are particularly fun. You kind of just gotta trudge through it, get it over with, get it out of the way. And in my opinion, one of those things is counting numbers. So today on my journey to becoming fluent in Portuguese, we're going to try and make learning Portuguese numbers as fun as possible. Okay, we've got some videos we're gonna watch. We've got some FluentU exercises we're going to do. And overall, we're just going to try and have fun with it. So let's dive in. All right, we've got our notepad here, which I'm going to be using to write down the new numbers that I learned, because I firmly believe that writing things down makes it easier to remember. All right, first thing we're gonna do is I'm just gonna look up a list of like numbers like 1 through 20, just like the simple bits. Okay, so Portuguese numbers 0 through 10. Okay, so I mean, right off the bat, it looks like numbers 1 and 2 can have gender. Great. We got one. One is or uma. And the M is like nasal. Okay, I've already started doing some of the pronunciation. Okay, so it's I don't think it's not You don't actually pronounce the M. So is or uma. 2 is dois or duas. 3 is going to be tres. And the E's got the little hat on it, which I think that means it's fechada. It's letra fechada, which means it's a closed letter pronunciation. I think it's not aberta, it's fechada. Okay, so 4 is cuatro with a Q, not a C. Cuatro. 5 is cinco. 6 is seis. 7 is sete. Okay, I almost started writing in Spanish. My apologies. Okay, 8 is oito. Now it's not oito, it's oito, because when an O is at the end of a word in Portuguese, it's pronounced like a U, like a U. So oito. 9 is nove. Not nove, because when an E is at the end of a word in Portuguese, it's like an E sound, so novi. And then 10 is des. Okay, so des. All right, so the important thing to make note of is that there's a feminine form and masculine form for numbers 1 and 2. These are the only ones to assume both forms. I mean, I guess I can understand why the number 1 has it, but 2 also has it, dois and duas. Since the Portuguese language has masculine forms and feminine forms for its nouns, you'll have to use the appropriate form depending on the gender of the noun in question. Okay, yeah, we got that. That's easy. Right. Duas casas. Okay, but yes, let's real quick go over Portuguese numbers 11 through 19. Here's what's going to get a little more interesting. I know, like in French, there's some crazy weird ways that they say the numbers. Like to say like the number 80, it's literally, you say like 4 times 20 or something like that. Yeah, it's 4 20s. Yeah, 80. There's no word for 80 in standard French. The French say 80, literally 4 20s. So yeah, I hope Portuguese will not be like that. I hope it's a little bit easier. So 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my God, this word looks crazy to me. 16, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so that's right, because 10 is des. So that makes sense that then you're just putting des in front of it and then you're saying the number. So like 16, this would be 10, 6. Des is 10 and 6 is 6. So it would be 16. And again, I might be butchering that pronunciation right now, but we're gonna watch a video in a little bit and learn the correct pronunciation of these. So here we go. We've got 11 is 11, 12 is 12, 15 is 15. Okay. I don't know why that sounds so weird to me. It's not weird, it just sounds, I just wasn't expecting 15. Okay. 17 is gonna be 17. It's a lot of E's for one word. And also I spelled it wrong. There's supposed to be 2 S's. Okay. 18 is gonna be 18. No, there's no E at the, okay, so just 18 and then 19. Okay, so 18 wants to be special and doesn't have the E after the Z. Probably because that is a vowel, if I had to guess. So 18. Wouldn't be 18, be 18. So 18. 219 is going to be dezinove. Okay, got it. Do you notice a pattern from 16 onwards? As you can see, once you're past 15, you simply say 10 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8. Yeah, we got it. We're way ahead of you. We're way ahead of you. All right. Okay, here's where it gets fun. Okay, thank goodness it's not like French. Thank goodness it's not like French. They just do it simply as the way it should be. Each multiple of 10 has just its own name, and that's all it is. So, 20, 30, 40, 50. In Spanish, it'd be like cincuenta, but this is, it's just cincuenta.
50.
Oh no, there was like kind of a W sound in that. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. All right, well, let's just write this down. So we've got 20 is going to be 20. Okay, so 20, 30 is 30. Right? 30? 30. Okay, there's an A at the end of that. I don't know why that feels reversed to me. So 20 would be masculine because it ends in an E, and the rest of these are feminine because they end in an A. 30 is 30, 40 is 40. Yes, 40. 40. In the last video that I filmed working on Portuguese pronunciation, I learned from Keon about this sort of melody, this rhythm to speaking in Portuguese, particular Brazilian Portuguese, which is what I'm honing in on. I don't have that rhythm down. There's like almost like pitches. It kind of sounds like the language tends to have this almost descending melody to it, like Brazil, right? It's not Brazil, Brazil. It's like Brazil. 60 is 60. And it has two S's, right? Okay, it does, yes. 80 is 80. 90 is 90. 90, there it is. Now, for the more complicated part, which is going to be getting like 21, 22. It's probably just 21, 22. Okay, right, after you reach 20 in the Portuguese language, being able to speak or write gets a lot easier. You just have to add the numbers up to 10 to the multiple of 10 that you need. I don't know why the phrasing of that sentence confused me, but all right, but we get it. So it looks like you have to put E in there. So 21, 22, 23, right? Right? You have to put the E in there. So we already basically know the base of all of this. So there's no point in writing all of this down. That would be a complete waste of my time. Let's hop into actually pronouncing it. I just need a real quick example. So let's just do like 23.
23.
Oh, 21, 23, 20. How did I forget that the T-E or the T-I is a ch sound? 20. I apologize. I totally thought I was saying it all right. So 20, 30, 40, 80. No, 80, 70. Oh, wait a minute.
70.
No, they are saying 70. I think maybe that's because of the N. So like the EN is like en. So 70, 80. 80. All right, well, to continue our learning, to make sure we're getting the pronunciation of all this down, to reinforce what we're doing, we're going to take a look at FluentU, the sponsor of today's video. All right, so this is FluentU, a language learning platform that basically has a very extensive library of clips from movies and TV shows to help you learn the language you want to learn in the context of the real world, in the context of the way people actually speak. They even have a guided course that you can follow, which is nice because sometimes language learning is kind of like bumbling around in the dark. So having someone kind of guiding you and showing you a path towards fluency is very helpful. Additionally, FluentU has a Chrome extension, which you can see I've added up here, which gives you access to subtitles on any YouTube video or a Netflix show that already has subtitles on it. Essentially what this means is you do not have to actually leave youtube.com or netflix.com to get access to the FluentU subtitles. We can see here, I found this video that's in Portuguese, O sumergiu a primeira língua escrita alumorfe, where this man is speaking in Portuguese, and you can see as he talks, the subtitles come up.
O ser humano já estava espalhado falando as suas diversas línguas há muito tempo, mas essa é a primeira que nós temos registro.
And as the subtitles come up, I can hover over them. So let's say I click, I do not know what primera means, which it means first, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it does.
Primeira.
Okay, so it'll say it, and then I can click on it, and then it will give me further examples and context of how to use this word. So I can say, Nós vamos assistir a primeira lição. Lição. I still don't think I have the A with the till and the O correct. That's okay. Você pode sentar na primeira cadeira. Okay. So, cadeira. Okay, and there's also a search function, so you can type in things. So I want to learn some numbers, so I typed in number, and it's going to pull up everything that is categorized by that title. So lucky for us, FluentU has an actual quiz that can help us learn the numbers. It's going to help us learn to pronounce it as well. There's actually audio that will play to show us the pronunciation. So let's see how we do on this numbers quiz. I think I should do decently, right? I don't know. We'll see.
Eles têm cachorro em casa. Mais 4 equivale a 5.
Mais 4 equivale a 5. Okay, so I guess this is how you say equals. Interesting. To be equivalent. All right, so we click on it. Equivale. Okay, so it also means is the same as. Interesting. FluentU is great because you're learning things that you didn't even intend to learn. So, all right, so all right.
Eu quero 2 sucos e uma cerveja.
Right, because there's a feminine and a masculine form of it. So, is the masculine and uma is the feminine. Eles têm cachorro. Cachorro. Correct.
Eles têm cachorro em casa.
I also just want to point out that, they have this, FluentU has this quiz feature, and that sound that plays, okay, when you get it correct, okay, that sound, in my opinion, maybe I'm just traumatized from doing so much Duolingo, but I much prefer that, correct sound to the Duolingo one. Actually, you know what? I'm curious what the you got it wrong sounds like. I'm going to purposely get this wrong because I'm kind of curious what the sound is. So I know it's uma, but...
900.
Boop, boop.
Eu quero 2 sucos e uma cerveja.
Boop, boop. Okay. That was, yeah. Because Duolingo, it's this sound, which is... It's like the Duolingo owl is hovering over you, letting you know that you got it wrong. I much prefer FluentU in this case. Okay. Eu tenho uma irmãs. Oh, wait.
Eu tenho 2 irmãs.
I just wasn't paying attention. Sorry. All right, let's pay attention.
Duas.
Eu
tenho 2 irmãs.
Duas. 2. Okay. Duas. So, or dois. Because in this case, dois é melhor do que
2. 2 é melhor do que 1.
So só tem uma pessoa.
Só tem uma pessoa no mundo que sabe fazer isso.
Okay, so pessoa is person. Interesting. So person, and it's feminine. Okay, so ela é uma boa pessoa. All right. So this is gonna be and because quatro is masculine, it's just gonna be right? Check. Got it. Okay. Nós compramos just dois, right? So dois because that's the masculine. Got it. It's gonna be duas because pessoas, which means person. So 2 persons, or would you not just say a gente? I don't know. Okay, duas. Duas is definitely.
2 pessoas chegaram aqui.
Chegaram aqui. Chegaram aqui. Eles têm cachorro. Cachorro. Yes. Eu quero 2 sucos e uma cerveja. Right?
A cerveja está cara neste bar.
Okay, that was like a r on the R, so not cerveja. All right, so check. Yes.
Eu quero 2 sucos e uma cerveja.
Eu quero 2 sucos e uma cerveja. Duas. My brain initially went to dois, but irmãs is feminine. Dois é melhor do que Yes.
2 é...
Got it. All right. 10 of 12. Not quite 100%. That's okay. All right, so we're going to stop working on FluentU there. We're going to go ahead and watch some videos to really hone in on the pronunciation of these numbers. But if FluentU sounds like something that could actually help you, I think it genuinely is something that can help. As speaking as someone who loves learning languages, as Obviously, my entire YouTube channel is based around learning languages. But if you think this could be genuinely helpful for you, then I have a link in the description to get a big discount. And happy learning, everyone. Let's get back to the rest of the video. All right, well, there's a bunch of different videos for learning to count in Portuguese, but here we've got Virginia from Speaking Brazilian Language School. Honestly, her content is just really well done. Okay, I don't think yes, I am biased towards her content. I want to learn from her content because she makes good content. So if you want to learn Portuguese, I recommend just watching her content. So this is what we're gonna do. Numbers in Portuguese from 0 to 100. All right, here we go. Virginia, numbers in Portuguese from 0 to 100.
Oi pessoal, aqui é a Virgínia. Hoje você vai aprender a contar de 0 a 100 em português. Continue assistindo.
Continua assistindo.
Eu preparei 2 lições sobre números em português. Na primeira lição, você vai aprender a contar de 0 a 100. E na segunda lição, que será publicada na próxima semana, você vai aprender a contar de 101 a 1 bilhão.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna focus on getting up to a billion quite yet, but we'll start here.
Não é difícil usar números em português. Você precisa apenas memorizar os números principais, que são as unidades, as dezenas, as centenas e os milhares, e depois vamos apenas conectar as palavras. Vamos começar contando de 0 a 20.
20.
Repita depois de mim para praticar sua pronúncia.
Praticar.
0.
0.
1. 2.
2.
3.
3. 3.
4.
4.
5.
5.
6.
6. Wait, hold on. On cinco, I feel like she kind of said cinco, not cinco. Hold on.
5.
5. No, she did.
6.
6.
7.
7. Yes, I was getting that wrong earlier. Sete.
8.
8.
9.
9.
10.
10. Okay, so not des. Des.
10.
Des. All right. Des.
11.
11.
12.
12. Now it's a Z. Maybe it's just because the Z is by itself at the end. So des. 11. 12. Wait, 12 or 12?
14.
14. Okay, so those R's do have the r.
17.
17.
18.
18.
19.
19.
20.
20. Okay. All right. I think we basically got it.
Muito bem.
Muito bem.
Agora vamos estudar apenas as dezenas de 10 a 100. Repita depois de mim para praticar a sua pronúncia. 10.
10.
20.
20.
30.
30. Okay, so hold on. If I remember correctly, let me see if I can do this without her saying it. 10. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 30.
40.
40.
50.
50.
60.
60.
70.
70. 70. Because that
Oi.
that's right, the EN, like 70. 70. It's just like 80.
80.
80.
90.
90.
100 ou 100.
Okay. Okay, those are options. So
Muito bem.
I saw that
100.
I saw that at first and I thought that the word for 100 was same o cento. But no, it's just either one. Right? Same o cento. 100 same. But then you can also say cento. Wait, right? Cento. Cent, right? Same. Okay, maybe we'll just say same. I'm not sure about cento. All right, just same.
100 ou 100. Muito bem.
Muito bem.
Agora que você já sabe as unidades e as dezenas, é muito fácil saber como dizer os números em português, pois você vai apenas conectar as palavras. Por exemplo, como você diria este número em português?
All right, she's gonna quiz us now. All right. 125. 125. Or is it cento? 125. That's like a tongue twister. Oh my god. 125.
2, 5 ou 125.
You can literally say 125 instead of saying 125. I feel like I would need some more context around that.
Nós sempre devemos usar a conjunção e para conectar os números entre.
Okay, yes. That's what I picked up from that article from earlier. Always use the E to connect the numbers.
As dezenas e as unidades, e entre as centenas e dezenas. 125. E por que eu disse cento e não 100? Nós usamos a palavra 100 apenas para se referir ao número 100.
This makes sense. Okay, I guess this is kind of like Spanish, or Spanish is like Portuguese in this case. You'd say 100, but then if you want to say like 125, you say 125, not 125, 125. So same, it's just 100, and then cento would be when you want to say 130, 130. Got it.
100. A partir do número 101, usamos sempre a palavra cento.
Ok.
101, 102 e assim por diante.
103, 104,
Vamos fazer
105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. Des, because the D-E-Z, I think it's just the S. Des, not des.
fazer mais um exercício.
All right.
Como você diria este número de telefone?
Oh boy. 202-555-0165. But if I wanted to say it like the actual numbers, it'd be 202, 555.
2, 0, 2, 5, 5, 5, 0, 1, 65.
Meia. She better explain herself.
Você deve estar se perguntando por que eu disse meia e não 6.
Yes.
A palavra meia é a redução de meia dúzia. No Brasil, é muito comum usarmos a palavra meia no lugar do número 6 em linguagem.
Really? That is fascinating. Hold on. If someone tells me their phone number and it starts with 9659, they will read it to me as Novi Meia 59, replacing the 6 with Meia, which translates to half. How does this make sense? How does it make sense? He said that this started on the radio. Seis would often be mistaken to tres over radio broadcasting, so they started using Meia. I just want to clarify, though, they have no idea. This person has no idea this is the correct explanation, though. Well, I guess this person also says the same thing. Okay, so, but is this just when you're just when you're saying a phone number, or?
Usamos a palavra meia quando estamos dizendo uma sequência de números individuais.
I feel like I'm always asking questions and pausing the video, and then she just answers it immediately. So that's kind of either she's reading my mind, or what I'm thinking is not that novel of some kind of idea.
Como, por exemplo, um número de telefone, ou um endereço, ou a placa de um carro. Por exemplo, o telefone da Maria é...
Ok. 969 635 6656.
969 635 6656.
Ok.
A placa do meu carro é XYZ.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I already forgot kind of the names of the letters. Not that that's a very necessary thing for a language. Obviously, like, knowing the numbers and how to say numbers is significantly more useful than knowing the correct words for the letters.
João mora na Alameda Jaú, número 2636. Mas preste atenção. Nem sempre podemos usar a palavra meia no lugar do número 6.
Okay, here we go.
Não usamos a palavra meia para dizer idade, data ou para contar a quantidade de alguma coisa. Por exemplo, Pedrinho tem 6 anos. O aniversário do Pedrinho é no dia 6 de junho.
Okay, so, alright, so yeah, what she was saying, it basically sounds like the meia is just when you're saying a sequence of numbers, like a phone number or something.
Eu tenho 6 canetas.
Canetas.
Agora vamos falar sobre gênero dos números. Números têm gênero? Depende.
Depende.
Como você responderia a esta pergunta? Quantas canetas eu tenho em minha
Well, canetas is feminine, so duas canetas.
mão? Eu tenho 2 canetas.
Duas.
Por quê?
I swear, like the S at the end of duas, it sounds like both the letter S and the letter Z to me. Like, it's not duas. It's not duas. It's duas. Duas. It's a different sound. It's cool. It's really cool.
Que eu disse 2 e não 2?
Dois.
Porque os números 1 e 2 variam em gênero.
In Spanish, if you wanted to say only, you would say solamente or solo. Okay, and you'd put that like at the beginning. But I've noticed she says apenas, which in Spanish, apenas means like barely or like hardly. So you'll only use the feminine number. Você vai usar o número feminino apenas. So apenas must mean only. Okay, I just find that interesting. All right, we're learning as we go.
Você vai usar o número feminino apenas quando estiver se referindo diretamente a um substantivo feminino. Por exemplo, um livro, uma caneta.
Uma caneta.
2 livros,
Dois livros.
2 canetas.
Duas canetas.
É isso, pessoal. Agora você já sabe como contar de
Okay, she says now you know how to count from 0 to 100. I'm going to try to count from 0 to 100 right now. That's going to be the end of this video. Okay, we're going to see if what we learned actually stands for anything. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 88, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 98, 99, 100. Okay. I think I forgot to say zero at the beginning, but that's okay. 1 to 100, we just did it. I kind of stumbled a little bit there. I forgot the word for 80. I had to check my notes from earlier, but that's okay. Because you're never going to be perfect the first time, and you just have to pick yourself back up and keep going, because that's what language learning is. It's about picking yourself up and continuing on, even though it's difficult. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video where I am learning Portuguese.